It's a quick blog video for July 24th, 2015. We're not going to be releasing a new version this week. My partner who builds the installers is on vacation, but another good week with the system. I'll just quickly show the charts and the stats. Here's Thursday. Small loss here, mostly wins. I love this pattern when you're having a trend and you have a little mini double top right here. It's very profitable, and every time I see one that our patterns don't pick up, we're almost up to 2,300 patterns right now. I put in a new pattern that finds it for that particular case. Here's the pound. We'll scroll back a couple days just so you can see how it did. Here's a huge kind of mini double top, huge move up, and it failed at to 50% of this little sideways area. Those patterns also tend to be pretty profitable. Here's another one of those little mini double tops that I just showed you in the other currency. Very, very profitable when you can find them. Here's a narrow range breakout. I love these, and when we have probably a few hundred narrow range breakout patterns in here, but when one of them isn't caught, I add a new pattern. Here's a sideways move for about 100 bars in a very narrow range. It didn't lead to more than 20 pip profit, but it's a very high probability trade. Here's a small loss. Dollar CAD did extremely well on Friday. Let's take a look at it on Thursday. Big trend down, new lows right near the previous high. It didn't generate too much profit. Short here at 78, out at 70, so it's pretty much a break even, or maybe a 2 pip loss. And you can see it made new lows for the day. The long-term trend of the dollar CAD is up. So anytime you have a few lows and then it kind of closes a few pips underneath that low, it tends to reverse if the longer-term time frame trend is up. And so our pattern found this very profitable 60 pip trade, and then got short again right at one of our bands probably. And on Friday, small loss here. Break out of this narrow range pattern. Again, the longer term trend is up, and that one's very profitable. When you're above the bands, 3 bars down, 4 or 5 up tends to be a reversal signal, so it found the high here, which is good probably for 15 pips. This is one of our 3-line break patterns. Most of the time when the market's in an uptrend and the 3-line break count gets to a certain level, if it breaks down and makes new lows over the last couple hours and comes back into the trading range, it tends to be a profitable trade, and you can see it was. I'm just going to go over a few more and then show the stats, and again, we're not releasing a new one this week. Here's the previous day in the Australian yen. Very, very small loss. Another narrow range breakout right here, which is good for 30 or 40 pips. And then Friday, there's only about a 5 pip profit here. And you know, if I was trading, I would have manually got into this trade probably, but the system missed it. Can't, even with almost 2,500 patterns, you know, there's going to be trades that a professional trader would take that gets missed. No trades at all on Thursday. Let's see if there was any on Wednesday here. You can see only one small loss here. Tuesday only one. Decent 15-20 pip profit. Yeah, you know, with 2,300 patterns, it's most of them are pretty strict. You know, if I was trading manually, we can see, you know, it failed to make new highs, and you have a nice little kind of rectangle pattern here. I probably would take that trade right there, but the system missed it. There's not enough time in the day to code up all the patterns that are missed. I'm not sure what this trade was, but it was a good profitable trade here. And here's the stats for the week. Keep in mind, each day I fix probably 2 to 5 of the older patterns, so those losers aren't on these stats. I also add 5 to 7, sometimes 10 if I'm really productive new patterns. So those new patterns obviously wouldn't have shown up live. Hopefully they do well in the future. If not, I put in additional rules and tweak them. But on Friday, 353 pips, 79% winning. And what I really look to do is try to have trades that are likely to make 2.5 to 3 times more profit. than loss. Thursday was the best day of the week, I think. 516 pips, 88% winning. And again, 3 times bigger wins than losses. Most of the losses are pretty tiny. Most days you can see 2, 3.7, 5.76, and 8. That's what I like to see. This is one of the lowest pip days we've had in probably a few months. 198, 72% winning. Very small wins. Tons of little tiny ones. 4.6, 6 pips. A lot of them under 10. Not a lot of high volatility that day. Luckily, the losses were tiny. Tuesday, 284 pips, 74% winning. And again, 3 times bigger wins than losses, and that's key. Even if you take out some of the higher probability or the higher pip trades, if you sum up the rest of them, you can see 159 pips that day if you take out the 4 biggest ones. Take out the 4 biggest ones, 95 pips still. And then here's Sunday, Monday, exceptional day, 308 pips, 76% winning, and again, 3 times bigger wins than losses. Again, keep in mind that on some of these days, some of these trades are older patterns. Some of the losers, that I fixed that day wouldn't have shown up in here. But I am trading these live, and what I do, because of the small times that there's 2 or 3 losers in a row, I tend to bet a little bit bigger. So if I get a 20 pip win on double my normal position size, it's like having 40 pips. And usually that wipes up all my losses. I'm back to positive, and the equity curve keeps growing. That's how I manage that situation. But again, I probably have years of additional work to add even more complex and sophisticated patterns. But very happy with the results. Very happy. There's been days for years. There's been days where I've never gotten everything done that I wanted to do for all the pairs that I trade. And recently, there's been days where I felt I've done everything I possibly can do. So that's a huge step in the right direction. I'm very excited about. We'll release a new version of the software next weekend.